we decided to move the FGA update to even earlier in the show so that I can partake of some of this beautiful slurry cane.
Sure.
Here. I know that Garden Root Genetics produce some really amazing slurry cane seeds this year, and quite a few of the community have been growing those out. And don't forget to vote in our poll. Me personally, I nurture my volunteers. You know, I love every single little dacha plant on this whole universe. So at the moment, after last year's season, we've got quite a few volunteers coming up in the garden.
What is a volunteer?
What is a volunteer? A volunteer is one that just presents itself without being planted.
So you find it's just randomly growing somewhere in a patch in your garden?
Yes, I mean, I've got a particularly vigorous looking one that's growing all the way through the yarrow. Because, you know, we've got yarrow that grows all the way around our permaculture beds. The raised beds are 12 years old, and there's one beautiful, beautiful volunteer coming up in the middle of the yarrow. So what I'm going to do next week is just rearrange the volunteers, because, you know, they haven't come up in the best place. They haven't come up right near a drip feeder so that we can water them and everything. So I think that that's quite a nice poll to vote in this year. And shame on you if you yank your volunteers. There might be an award-winning strain in there. Yeah. So Fields of Green for All, we've been quite busy. And one of the things that we did this week is Amy, our darling administrator and helper outerer, has sent out all of the Instagram prizes. So we are now up to date. So for those of you that have won on Instagram, thanks to Amy, and you should be receiving your prize with the courier sometime soon. But we've got an appeal here from Fields of Green for All for donations for prizes, because while we've got all sorts of bits and pieces here that have been donated in the past, we're looking for some fresh stuff. So if you would like your product to be showcased on the show, and you would like to donate a few prizes for the Instagram and support a good cause, then please get hold of us. And remember, as always, you can get hold of us on the Fields of Green for All website. And we make you write out that whole website address, fieldsofgreenforall.org.za. And on our website, you will find an amazing FAQ section, which will tell you everything that you possibly need to know before you send us an email asking that very same question that's on the FAQ. And in the FAQs, you will see information about arrests, information about licenses, those unicorn things that we're always talking about. You have information about growing and the law and everything you can possibly imagine. And big thanks to Charles for keeping our FAQ section up to date. And also, if you want to contact us, really, the Fields of Green for All website is the best place. There you will find our 24-hour dacha arrest helpline, which Charles very diligently manages, and I know a lot of you have already spoken to him. And you will also find our Contact Us. So the Contact Us form goes to quite a few of our team members, so that is the best way to get a hold of us. If you win the prize today, have you entered our Instagram competition, hashtag Hotbox Show. If you win, then please contact us via the Fields of Green for All website. So in the news this week, we got this amazing package that was all battered, exactly like this, all torn. It was posted from Germany on the 10th of March, and it eventually arrived. And in here we have an article in Spanish. This is possibly one of the best known, outside High Times magazine, one of the best known Spanish-speaking weed magazines. And in here, and we'll post something on Facebook about it, you will see that there is an article about Jules and I that John Veet, our dear friend, the journalist, did the interview when we were in Barcelona in March, and there's some great color spreads. And this is just a shout out to John Veet. He's now moved from Germany to Costa Rica. Wouldn't it be nice to go and visit them there? Here you have some beautiful photographs that were taken right here at the Jazz Farm, and this plant on this side is what we call the Jules volunteer, and it was the last one to come out of the ground today. So we were very, very pleased. Our very own South African Post Office eventually delivered our copy of the Canema magazine. And then there's been something that has been in the news over the last few weeks that has disturbed us greatly, and that is the dismissing, the firing, the sacking of our friend Jeremy Vearey. And I just thought I'd bring it up here in the Fields of Green update. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have heard of Jeremy Vearey. I know that Charles has certainly met him when we did Drug Policy Week in Cape Town a couple of years back. He has to be the one top cop that is on our side. He's the one top cop that you can actually have a sensible conversation about drug policy. And he's been out there championing the cause of the people who have developed substance abuses. He's been championing the cause of the people who live in gang-infested areas. And he's from those places in the Western Cape. And it's just really upset us that he has now been dismissed. There was a big protest in Cape Town. It's near the St. George's Cathedral, and that was covered in the news. So why I'm bringing this up today is because, you know, I haven't heard from the police since October last year. And now they're going and firing the cop, the one cop who could possibly champion our cause, particularly down there in the Western Cape. So if you can just send rainbows out to Jeremy Vearey and his family at this very, very difficult time. I know that him and his colleagues who are on the right side of things in the police department are fighting with everything that they've got. And I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention that this has happened in our completely messed up and mixed up and jumbled up South African Police Service. And then the next thing that I want you, Dale, please can you pass me the manifesto? Another thing that we've been doing at Fields of Green is we've been working on the distribution of our manifesto, and that where I'm talking about hard copies. If you'd like to buy a hard copy, you go to Fields of Green for all /shop, and you can order a copy of our manifesto. It costs 300 Rand, and we'll even throw in a few free goodies in if you order a hard copy of this. It's really nice to have one so that you can make notes in it and you can read it. It's just not the same as reading it on a screen. If you think that there's somebody important out there who should have a hard copy of this, please drop us a contact us on the website, and we'll see if we can get a copy to that important person who needs to read this. And as we always, just to end off our Fields of Green report, we've got a little bit of news from Malawi. So I'm just going to refresh my memory here. I'm just finding the article here. Yeah. Well, never mind about that. I can't find it, but I do remember. So there was a report from the Malawi Voice. It was actually about 10 days ago, but last week, you know, we had streaming issues, so that we had to cancel the show. And there's an official who's high up in the Department of Agriculture in Malawi who has called for all cannabis licenses to be stopped because he says it is not benefiting the poor of Malawi. And I just thought that it would be a good time to mention that things are maybe looking up. We wrote to the particular gentleman in question. He replied to us, and we now have a dialogue, and he has a copy of the manifesto. So we always like to update people of what's going on in the rest of Africa. And we're also really, really privileged tonight to have a French journalist with us, and she is busy writing an article on the state of cannabis, legal or not, in Southern Africa, and we really look forward to the series of articles coming out. And maybe when the articles are out, we can get her on the show and she can tell us what she's discovered and also tell us a bit about what is going on in France. So that's basically what's been happening at Fields of Green for All. Busy as always. We did our presenter training this afternoon, so we're hoping to give you a really, really snappy show. And I'd just like to say thank you very, very much to Keith. for presenting for us tonight. Keith, as you might know, might not know, is our designer here at Fields of Green, and he is making sure that all of our content is really beautifully presented. And he actually designed the whole of the manifesto together with his amazing mother. And it really is an honor to have you presenting our show tonight, Keith. Thank you so much.
Thanks for absolutely, that's all.
Right, that's the end of my blurb.